Hi, Daniel.
Hey Sophie, thanks for having me on.
You're most welcome. So, how did you get into arts and flow arts and being a yoga teacher? Tell us all.
Oh boy. Um, I guess it came about through what I call like a quarter life crisis because I wasn't, I hope I wasn't in my midlife. I was like 23, 24, something like that. And I guess I just realized I was not happy with where I was in life and who I was and how I looked and everything you could think of. I wasn't healthy. I was basically living off of hot Cheetos and alcohol, and I just was not a healthy person, and I basically had to figure out why I wasn't happy, and I could see that it was so many things that I knew I had to change a lot of things. So it kind of started with just eating better and getting in a little bit of exercise, and then started going to the gym, and then realized from going to the gym that I need to start stretching because I'm getting really tight. So I just went to a local yoga studio and instantly just really resonated with it and was like, this is actually exactly what I'm looking for, and kind of abandoned going to the gym and everything to just go to yoga. And
Yeah.
then really randomly, I was just scrolling through Facebook and saw a video of somebody fire dancing and was just like, I have no idea what this is. I've never seen it before, but I really like it. And I always wanted to be an artist of some kind. Like growing up, I played music, but it didn't really go anywhere. And then in my early 20s, I tried painting and just was not good at it as much as I wanted to be.
Uh-huh.
Um, so when I saw the fire dancing, it just kind of felt like this could be my opportunity to actually give myself to an art form here. So yeah, I kind of just geeked out, watched videos of it online for like a good month or two, and then decided I'd try ordering one online and see for myself if I'd like it. It was a prop called a dragon staff. So that's
All
the
right.
main fire prop that I use with like the fire wicks on the end of the staff.
Yeah,
It kind of looks
yeah,
like a fire wheel.
yeah. I've seen that. I want
So
to do that too, but I haven't tried it yet.
it's tough because yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I didn't know anybody with one and had never seen one before. So you don't really have an opportunity to try first. Kind
Oh,
of had to
yeah.
dive.
So
But
you just bought one and just started fire flowing?
well, I spent the first 14 months practicing without fire, just kind of figuring out how to use the prop. And
Uh-huh.
then after about 14 months, somebody told me that there was actually a fire dancing community in Santa Cruz. So I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
okay, let me go see.
So you went and checked it out and then started, did you use fire at the first time you went out there?
I did, yeah. I met some people out there who knew more of what they were doing, and first thing they looked at what I was wearing and was like, you can't wear that. You're gonna catch on fire." So
Oh,
to go put on like some jeans and stuff, less flammable. And yeah, they kind of walked me through the whole process the first time, and I ended up going there every Sunday for like the next year or two, and then from there started going to fire dancing festivals and music festivals and kind of yeah, I guess it started off of a Facebook video and kind of became my whole life now.
wow. So, so where do you teach your yoga classes in San Jose?
Mostly just on Zoom now. Ever since the pandemic, the
Oh,
yoga studios around here closed, and I think most of them have reopened now, but I got really used to just teaching on Zoom. It's really convenient.
and you have the people who are loyal to you, so it's kind of nice that way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because yeah, if you don't have your kind of core group that will keep going to your classes, then yeah, I think I would have to get back in a studio or something like that.
So how would you say your fire flow dancing, or I'm not sure how to call it, how would you say that your style evolved with the flow arts?
Um, and yeah, it is a complicated one. We don't really have a specific term we go by. It's like flow arts, fire dancing,
Yeah.
circus arts. It's kind of all of the above. Um, but really, I'd say my style of fire dancing really comes from yoga. It's really rooted in yoga. As soon as I started picking up the dragon staff, I'd still go to yoga classes, and every pose the teacher would have us in, I'm just thinking like, what could I do with the dragon staff while in this pose? And
Uh-huh.
then it slowly turned into me taking the inversions from the yoga classes, like headstand and shoulder stand and handstand, and adding dragon staff to it. So while in a handstand, having the dragon staff either on my neck or locked behind the knees, or
Uh-huh.
it's all really rooted in yoga. So I know not everybody who plays with fire or dragon staff does yoga, and it's always something whenever I'm teaching someone, I'm like, yoga is going to help you a lot with this one, because your your body might not always be capable of doing the tricks, but if you're doing yoga, your body should be more capable. It I like to say it tricks your body into thinking it's young.
Yeah. I can't do a handstand or any of that. So, I mean, I would be in complete awe of you. I'm like, I can't even, yeah,
It
no
took a lot of
handstands,
practice,
no
and I think I
headstands.
also got into it at like the right time in my early 20s.
Yeah. When I was in my early 20s, I was painting. I got into that and I just stuck with it for like 20 years or something and just painted whatever, like
Wow.
not self-trained and not I did do like some graphic design classes, but I just wanted to use my school loan for painting. So
Yeah,
I
I
just
love
like
that.
threw a bunch of money on paints.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Like I said, before I found yoga or fire dancing, I wanted to be a painter. I love looking at paintings, and I get kind of like starstruck over painters. So it's like it's what I wanted to be good at. It's just not what I was good
Yeah,
at.
I guess I could you even if I can't do the tricks that you can, I could probably like learn how to fire dance a little bit, with like minimal like I wouldn't be that good. I know I wouldn't be that good.
You might be surprised. I find that other people who are already involved in another art form tend to be really quick learners with it.
Oh
Anytime I
wow.
get to teach someone who's either a musician or an athlete or a painter, I'm like, I love this because you learn so fast compared to someone else.
So, what advice would you give somebody like me or any other person who's trying to get into fire dancing? I mean, would it be just like watch YouTube and like some other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I learned from watching YouTube primarily. I do highly recommend that once you're comfortable enough with your prop to where you feel like you want to start lighting it on fire, to definitely have people there who are experienced. Because like I said, I didn't even know that my clothes were super
Flammable.
flammable or anything. Yeah. Um, it's definitely nice if you can learn from someone in person, but it's also kind of a rare thing. So yeah, sometimes online is the best way to learn.
Do you also do like poi and stuff?
Yes, I also spin poi, contact staff. I do a little bit of juggling, a little bit of fire breathing, a little bit of fire eating, but I'll be honest, I haven't done that in some months now because it's fire breathing and fire eating are definitely a lot more risky than just spinning a prop on fire.
I mean, have you ever done it and then your mouth actually catches on fire?
Not catches on fire, but definitely burnt the inside of my mouth before. Yeah.
Um,
The metal that the fire torches, the fire eating torches are on, like the
yeah.
wick won't burn you, but the metal right underneath it will. So sometimes
Oh,
when you go to eat the fire, your lips catch the metal. And
Oh
that was
shoot.
definitely, yeah, no good. Um, and then also if you inhale any of the fumes, you have to kind of hold your breath while you eat fire. If you inhale the fumes, you can end up going to the hospital.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, that's why it's kind of one that I've kind of
Tricky.
stepped, yeah, I've stepped away from it a little bit. Like I felt like I was figuring it out, but then a couple mistakes and I was like, this is really risky. If one too many mistakes, then I might be going to the emergency room. So
Oh my goodness.
backed off the fire eating a little bit.
Well, at least you kind of know what it is and like you know what not to do and what to do.
Right. I can do some stuff safely, but people these days are just pushing the art form in such a crazy way that I'm like, I'm gonna leave this one to you guys.
So, you said you work at the airport and then you're doing all these things. You're also teaching yoga. How do you balance all these different art forms and how do you manage so you don't burn out?
It's uh it's a tough one. That's kind of my regular struggle in life is feeling like I'm biting off more than I can chew. I guess I just kind of accept, like some people are born into a situation where they maybe can just work a 9 to 5 and be happy, or maybe they're born into a situation where they can just focus on their art and they don't got to worry about a 9 to 5. And I am not in one of those positions, so I just kind of accept that in order to give myself to this art form 100%, I'm basically gonna have to give equal effort to that art form as I am to my 9 to 5 because I need the 9 to 5 still to pay the bills and everything. Bay Area cost of living's a little outrageous. So
Yeah,
I basically look at it as if I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and give my time and effort to this job that I don't really care about, then I should definitely be giving equal, if not more effort to my art form after I get off work. And you definitely don't always feel like it. Some days you get off work and you're like, I just want to take a nap. But I just kind of force myself, I guess, discipline to when I get home from work, still get in my yoga practice, and then after that, get in some fire dancing, which, if I'm being honest, I probably give more time to my 9 to 5 than I do to those things, unfortunately. But
right.
I heard a quote that I kind of live by, I guess, and it's use your 9 to 5 to support your 5 to 9. I think that's the quote. So it's
Oh, okay.
basically use your 9 to 5 job to support your hobby when you get off work from 5 to 9 p.m., which
Well, at least you're doing something in your passion that is giving you exercise and giving you the strength, energy, and courage to keep on with everything else. Because if somebody's kind of stagnant and they're sitting in one spot and doing painting, even for example, or playing the guitar, then they have to stay in one place, kind of stagnant, and it's hard on your back, and your back and your limbs start to feel like, wait, you're not giving me what you need, the body needs is
makes
exercise.
a lot of sense.
And at least you're doing something that gives you that, so that way, um besides the fact that you're supporting your 5 to 9, as you call it, you're also giving your body what it needs.
That is a very great point I had not thought about. Because yeah, you're right. If you're playing music or painting, or even if you make music on the computer or whatever, yeah, you kind of have to do yoga or exercise to undo the work that you just did by spending
Yeah,
so much time sitting. Where yeah, mine is kind of all together.
yeah, it's all
That definitely
integrated.
helps.
Do you collab a lot with your fire dancing with a lot of other fire dancers, or?
Not as much as I would like to. I am kind of collaborating with some other fire dancers for an event in September in Georgia, where basically like a lot of the, I guess you could say like most popular dragon staff spinners in the United States, we're all
Oh, I
gonna
didn't
meet
know
up.
that.
Yeah, we're all gonna meet up in Georgia and basically have like a dragon staff intensive where people come from all over the country and just focus on that prop. Um, but as far as collaborating as in like performing with other fire performers, I don't get to do that much, and I would really like to. Um, I do get some gigs performing, and sometimes like you go out, spin the poi, and then you go put them out and you light up your next prop, and it's just like it'd be really nice if in between my props someone else could go out so that it's not like
Yeah. So
dead
it's
time
not like,
where
yeah,
yeah,
time.
we could go back and forth or even do like a little choreographed thing at the same time. But the pandemic kind of messed things up for me a little bit here. I'd say before the pandemic, I was a lot closer to like the Bay Area fire dancing community.
Oh,
Um, after the
they still
pandemic,
have
we
that
kind of
ecstatic dance community. Are you part of that or?
not so much, but they do kind of intertwine. Sometimes those events will kind of be happening at fire jams or flow jams like simultaneously.
Oh, okay. I think I've been to like one or two of those. I'm so
Yeah,
flexible and like I am the biggest klutz you will ever meet. I'm like, okay, what is everyone doing? And I'm going to like after I'm going to this Ayurvedic camp or treatment center for a while. So
yeah.
helps my body get back into like a rhythm. And then after that, I'm gonna join this hip hop class.
Ooh,
So, and I am the worst in that class, but I just am doing it because my body needs to move around and I'm just not giving it what it needs. It's telling me like you're not doing what you're supposed to do for me. So I actually tried going to the trial hip hop class and it was like a big mess. I tried it out. So I kind of know what I'm going into, but
right. I mean, props to you for still going into it, even if you feel like you're, not the most coordinated person, because as long as I've been doing fire dancing, I've been telling myself I should go take like a dance class because then I can kind of fuse the two together. But
you
I
should.
know, I know I'm going to be really bad and I'm just too embarrassed to
You
look
gotta
like
just go.
the new guy.
They probably have way more classes out there than over here. Over here, I'm not really sure, but the one class that I'm going to is like a very they have this gym called Cult Fit and it's like everywhere all over Bangalore.
Wow.
So and they have all kinds of classes just like any other gym that back in the Bay or whatever. They don't have a
Right.
spin cycle class in this particular gym that I'm going to, but I'll try all the other stuff. I just can't lift heavy weights. I had a surgery when I was 14 that basically it ripped out the top of my back to all the way my tailbone.
Oh my God.
So this is basically a spinal fusion. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
A little bit, yeah.
So I did that like 3 times because they messed up the first time.
Oh no.
Yeah. But so that's also another reason why I have to like really watch it when if I'm doing any kind of weightlifting or
Yeah.
any kind of anything that requires me to lift something.
What caused the problem with the spine? Was it just you were
Um,
born with it?
I think it's hereditary or genetic. But if they
Right.
would have caught it early on, they caught it when I was in 7th grade. they should have caught it early on.
Yeah.
Then I could have just maybe exercised it out. Maybe it would have still been there, but I wouldn't have had such a like turn on my spine because it's turned this way and then it's turned
Whoa.
this way. So it's turned both ways.
Okay. I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah. And it was almost gonna puncture my lungs. So yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I would still try to do a fire dancing thing, just like a basic thing, but I'm not gonna get into like any kind of competition, competing with like other people. If I
Right.
did it, I would do it for solely the reason of like wanting to just get my body to move.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think one of the best reasons to get into fire dancing is to do it for yourself. Like whether it's to get in movement or just because you enjoy it or whatever it is. When people get into it specifically to like make a living or become a performer, I'm like, slow down because this is not a very what's the word? It's it's not a very wealthy community, we'll put it that way. So it's like it's a tough thing to make a career out of, and if you're not doing it for you, I mean, I don't think you'll last as long in it.
Yeah, I've seen like I mean, I always see Flo Mayhem. She's a big I'm sure
Yeah,
she's able to make a living off of it, but I don't think everybody's like Flo Mayhem.
yeah, it's definitely like a small minority of the group gets to actually make a living off of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
but it's
am
cool that
familiar
you
with
hold
her.
the yoga classes too, so that you have something to balance it out, and your other
Exactly.
job.
At least for now. One day it would be great to just do the fire dancing and yoga full time, but that's not where I'm at yet.
You'll get there,
I
maybe.
hope so.
Just like keep believing in your dream.
Yep. Dedication, keep chasing it.
So, what's your like favorite experience or favorite event or just memory of you doing any type of art?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's probably got to be the fire dancing festivals that I get to go to. I get to meet like other people from all over the country who are obsessed with the same thing that I'm obsessed with. And sometimes we're already friends on the internet first, and then we get to meet in person. And it's just, I don't know, it's been a really cool experience. People sometimes say you don't want to meet your heroes, like they're going to let you down. But all of my heroes in fire dancing that I've gotten to meet have just been so kind and just as cool as I imagined them being.
Uh,
Um, and then getting to meet like people that you're friends with on the internet. Again, it's one of those things when you're a kid, people are like, don't meet strangers on the internet, but I do it multiple times a year and it's some of my favorite experiences. And it's really what gets me through working the 9 to 5 is knowing in a month I get to be in Texas with all of basically what I see as my family, or in 2 months I'll be in Michigan and get to be reunited with my family. And it's like it really gets me through the harder days is knowing that I get to look forward to those experiences.
that's super stoked. Would you say that the very first event would be like your most favorite or
It might be that was Fire Drums, a fire dancing festival here in California. I went to, it was my first fire dancing festival and I went to it in 2018. And yeah, I was just blown away by the whole thing. Basically, how a fire dancing festival works is all day there's workshops where you can learn different props, whether it's staves or poi or juggling or hoops. And then at night there's an open fire circle where everybody gets to basically perform for each other and have fun and show off the new stuff that they got to learn. And I had been to music festivals, but music festivals, there's also a big focus on just partying and the drugs and all that. And it felt like at a fire dancing festival that it was really productive and just focused and was like, these people all want to learn and get better. And then at night we get to have fun and entertain each other. And it was something I had never seen before. And yeah, it's still probably, if not my favorite experience, it's up there for sure.
I know for me, like as a painter, like I haven't painted in front of other people like live at a festival or anything. I have like huge like social anxiety about it.
I
But
see.
I wonder like how I would do. But I guess the first thing would be just to try to like learn some basics, I guess, if I was gonna try to fire dance
Exactly.
any day.
Yeah, you start with the basics, things that are really safe, really controlled, so you're not going to burn yourself. And then if you love it, you start to get a little more risky with it.
Maybe when I come back, I'll go on like some kind of tour and like get to see a bunch of festivals because I haven't even got to do that yet. And like that's kind of like in the back of my head, like one day I'm gonna go back and just go like however.
I think you would love it. Music festivals and fire festivals definitely have a place for painters where even some of the music festivals I've gone to, you're in a crowd, there's the stage there with the music and everything, and in the crowd there's just people painting on canvases with little spotlights on them. Like they're basically in the crowd full of people dancing, but doing their thing painting. And
Yeah,
um,
like I
I
went to
definitely,
oh sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say I get the social anxiety, but I think you'd be very welcome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went to the 1015 the 420 event
Yeah.
with Alex Gray. And they didn't have fire dancing, but they had a bunch of people who were painting. But I wasn't painting. I was just going around watching everyone else paint, and I felt like at home.
You know, I wonder if we went to the same event because 1015 Folsom, they would do an event every year on Bicycle Day, which is the day
Yeah, it
before
was back in
420.
2012, so I don't know if you were there or not.
Okay, maybe not.
I'm
I
like
was there in,
43 right now.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm like 43 right now, or I'll be
Okay.
43 this November, so there might be
Yeah,
like an age gap.
I was at that venue for Bicycle Day probably like 2000, what would it be? 2017, 18. So yeah, just
Oh, nice,
after. But yeah,
nice.
seeing all the painting and stuff there, yeah, it was one of my favorite parts of being at the events there.
Yeah, and watching Alex get paint live was just like amazing. I was like, wow, wow, I
Yes.
can't get any better like than like I'm right where I need to be right now.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's I think one of the main reasons I wanted to get into painting. But then you look at Alex Gray's work, and then I was looking at my work, and it's like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Gray does some amazing, amazing work.
Yeah, and it's just like you can't replicate that or even
Right.
come close to it.
Maybe AI, but yeah, not a human.
Yeah, that whole AI stuff, that's a whole nother story, another debate,
Yeah.
some other day, some other time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a messy one.
Yeah, whole mess. So, is there anything else that you want to share with us about your challenges getting your small business started while you're working, or anything like positive that you have to impart to the world as such an um such a motivated person in our community?
Thank you for saying that. If anything, I would say consistency is key. I find that sometimes people want to get somewhere in a particular field or art form, and if they don't get there like quickly, they'll become jaded or lose interest. And I'd say more than anything, just be consistent because like 5 or 6 years ago, when I first uploaded a Dragonstaff tutorial on YouTube, it was like, why am I even doing this? But I just kept doing it. And now I get opportunities to teach Dragonstaff all over the country. And I think a big reason is because I have kind of a resume on YouTube of tutorials to where it's like you're showing that
Oh,
you're capable of teaching.
oh,
Um,
that's good. You should share your YouTube channel with us and whatever other social platforms you're on.
oh, thank you. It is youtube.com/DanielDragonstaff. And I tried to
Oh,
make it Daniel Dragonstaff on everything, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or my Gmail. Um, but yeah, the biggest thing is just consistency because if I would have been caught up on an end game or some kind of outcome 5 or 6 years ago, I probably would have given up. But the consistency of doing it week after week, year after year, eventually, I think eventually people can't deny you anymore
yeah.
after so long.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to be the best you can be, then people will come to you instead of you having to chase them. And then,
Exactly.
yeah, there's that one quote, elevate your game. So you don't
I
have
don't
to
know.
chase others or something.
I don't know if I've heard that one, but I like it. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
that's really what it is. Because yeah, then instead of trying to prove to someone or argue to someone why you're fit for the job of performing or teaching or whatever it is, you can instead just point to a body of work. Like, this is what I do.
I feel like you must like me, and I'm not gonna try to get you to like me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's tough because it does feel like we're kind of in the business of likability, if that's a word.
Yeah,
But yeah, at a certain point, like I said, you got to do it because you love it and it's what you want to be doing and not because of the results or the opportunities.
that's kind of how I feel about these podcasts right now because it's my first time trying to do a podcast, and I know I'm definitely not the best, but I have my own way of speaking and my own story, and that's just what it is. That's me, and that's the other person who's speaking to me in our interaction. It wouldn't have happened any other way.
And I think that's going to resonate with certain people. Like your voice and way of speaking is going to resonate with different people than some other podcast out there. There's something out there for everyone these days with the internet. We can
Yeah.
we can all kind of branch off and find our podcasts, our music, our whatever it is that we enjoy.
And it's funny too because there's like a big space for creativity, even with AI taking over and stuff like that. We still have a big space for creativity, at least for a little bit longer, I hope.
Yeah,
And it's good to make use of that while we can.
great point. Yeah, that's something I don't think about much, but yeah, who knows how long we have this for. Nothing lasts forever. If the pandemic showed me anything, it's that.
Yeah, what a pandemic. So screwy.
Yeah,
It's like you can't go to certain places, but you can go to other places where there's tons of people.
the whole thing was very strange. Yeah,
Horrendous.
yeah, exactly. And it definitely showed me all these things that you think are just permanent structures, your yoga studios, your fire jams, your festivals can all be taken from you really quick.
Yeah. Well,
At least they can't take you from doing the activities. They can only
yeah,
take
they can't kill your brain from having the thoughts and the creativity that you have.
yes.
I learned that really early on because in my life, like my dad, he would like delete my hard drives, or I would have to, I had a, I went through a natural disaster, like a fire when I was like 26.
Dang.
Yeah, and the whole thing was just there to teach me, look, Sophie, you can, people can destroy stuff, or not people, natural disasters can destroy stuff, but they can't kill your thoughts,
Yes.
and they can't
Can
kill
only
your
take the
creativity.
materials.
Yeah.
Was that when you were in California?
I was in the city. Um,
Wow.
I was in San Francisco, and it was like an old building. They never told us the reason why. They said either it was like hippies who lived below us, which I don't have anything against hippies, but apparently, um, our our apartment was right above. So
Hmm.
either that, or it was an electrical uh, fire, because the building was old, very
That
old.
makes sense for San
And the mission,
Francisco.
the mission,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
A lot of old buildings.
that's super old. And I just came home from work one day, and that's what was going on. And I had to just grab a bag of clothes and just say I'm Audi 5 and take my phone charger that was still attached to the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I've been through it, but what it taught me was that nobody can kill your creativity, and we got to just keep going. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and it's just it's really nice to have you here, and that I've gone through all the things I've gone through so that we could have done this.
Yes. Who knows who you would be or where you would be if, yeah, some of these tragic things didn't happen.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, they definitely shape us.
yeah. But I'm really glad to have you, and if there's anything else you want to say, um,
Um, just thank you for having me on. Thank you for folks listening. And yeah, I used to run a podcast, so I know it's not easy. And I think you're doing really great. So
I
just like I was
appreciate that.
saying with consistency, I think if you keep doing the pod, it's gonna keep growing.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, because I'm not sure what I'm doing, and to be honest with you, sometimes I think I talk too much. Like I feel like, I'm trying to give the other person space to talk, but I also want to kind of just let them know how I feel about stuff too. So, do you think I'm talking too much about my story, or do you think I should limit that?
No, no. I think what I love about podcasts is that it's like a conversation. It's like an interview, but it's also like a conversation.